Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's spring cleaning time for me, which has been a slow, can't even say but steady, definitely slow process in the last week as I've been trying to sort and clean and throw things out. And I came upon my empties box, and I don't think I've done an empties video for quite a while, maybe last autumn. I don't know. I ought to check back on my videos, but certainly I used to do it as a kind of monthly thing, and I'm not sure it's that interesting on that basis. But I thought I would do one today as part of my spring clean. The items that I'm going to show you are not all the items that I've emptied, to be honest, because I've just thrown various things like, my deodorants, various sheet mask packages that I've used, quite a few, in fact, recently. And over the last few months, lots of perfume samples. I do tend to get those little tiny kind of 2 ml sprays as free gifts with things, certainly from Chanel, but others as well. And I like to have those in my handbag or at my desk to use in addition to or instead of my main perfume. So I think I've counted about 12 of those that I've just junked without showing you. So these really are some of the items that I thought were worth talking about. The majority of my empties on an ongoing basis really relate to bath products, bath and shower products. I tend to shower only when I'm away because I prefer a bath. I know lots of people think that's absolutely disgusting and that baths aren't hygienic, but I find them super relaxing. And I regularly have 2 baths a day, one in the morning if I've got time for it, definitely, unless I'm really, really exhausted, one at night because I find it relaxes me. And you know that I love the aromatherapy associates oils, which I use a lot. I've gone through this time one of the de-stress formulations, which I hadn't used as much. This one has rosemary, ginger, and black pepper, and I really like the fragrance as an alternative to the kind of relax one in the evenings. And then I've also gone through, this is one of the light relax. There are 2 relax formulations, one heavy, one light. I actually prefer the fragrance of the light one, which is lavender, yang yang, and petitgrain. But they're both, I'm going to say, effective. I don't sleep as well these days as I used to. I even have the little mini ones for when I go away. This is a de-stress muscle one. I tend not to use the muscle one as much, mainly because I just haven't been exercising. I need to rejoin the gym. But I also go through kind of liquidy soaps in the bath. So I had this really nice range called Bramley. I don't know if you can buy these in the shops. I got these large bottles at a hotel stay, and one was a bubble bath and one is the body wash with kind of fruit essences, but not too synthetic. I really, really liked those. I also have liked, I think I got a freebie initially of Rituals, which you may have seen, they're kind of standalone shops. They had one at St Pancras. I don't know if it's still there. That was where I first came across them. There's definitely one in Covent Garden. I think I got a freebie somewhere else. Really liked the fragrance and got some others. I've got one on the go at the moment. They're slightly odd because they're these kind of foaming soaps. So they're a bit like shaving cream, and you have to be careful not to squirt too much or you end up with a kind of foam bath. Do you remember the video I did about the Queen's products? And as part of the research there, I came across a new firm to me. It wasn't this one, but they were selling various kind of older fashioned natural products. And I was taken by this pine bath essence. I used to love, and so did my mother when I was a child, and we didn't really have as much money to spend on nice smelly things as I do now. And my mother loved and loves them as much as I do. And one of the great treats, so that I would buy her always for Christmas and Mother's Day and things like that, was Badidas bath essence, or was it there was a foaming bath for sure. I think there's a whole range now, which was a kind of slightly more subtle pine fragrance, which we thought was the last word in luxury. And this pine bath essence slightly reminded me of that. I think Badidas is still made, by the way. This is made in England, pine needle oils with capsicum. And yeah, was nice and kind of a warming fragrance in the winter. I had a large sample size of Wren Atlantic Kelp Anti-Fatigue Body Wash. I really like the fragrance of that one, actually. I wouldn't be averse to buying that. Then the Bath and Body Works foaming soaps I really like, because they're just kind of handy to have at the side of the bath. If you have a tablet of soap, it just goes kind of gungy, which I don't like. I wish we had Bath and Body Works over here, because I know the fragrances are quite synthetic, but some of them are really nice and they're quite reasonable, the products. And yeah, but I don't know, they've just never come to Europe. I guess they make enough money in America, so what do they care? I go through quite a few cleansing products as well, because as part of my skincare routine, I always like to do a double cleanse, sometimes a triple cleanse. And by that I mean either a foaming wash, or more likely a balm, then followed perhaps by a wash, and finally with a kind of freshening spray or micellar water. Definitely if I've been wearing makeup. If I haven't been wearing makeup, I'll probably just go with one cleanse. So I do go through these things. I love the Emma Hardy Moringa cleansing balm, because, I mean, these are just, I really scraped that one. It's a kind of oily balm that melts very quickly as soon as it touches the skin, and really lifts the debris. You can get cleansing oils as well. I'm using a cleansing oil at the moment from Votary, in fact, as part of a slightly more organised regime. But I like the Emma Hardy, and I have repurchased. I've got a big pot of it due to open. Now, this one, the reason I like this more than Eve Lom, for example, the consistency and the cleansing is exactly the same, and the price points are fairly similar. The fragrance on this is much nicer. Of course, if you don't like fragrances, then you won't like it. And I had this Protect and Prime SPF 30, which I was using also from Emma Hardy, as my kind of sunscreen, really, on short trips away, because I'm travelling a lot for work again. I wasn't so fond of this. It was quite a sticky, tacky, thick cream, and I didn't like the fragrance on this, so I wouldn't be repurchasing that. In the cleansers, I tried these three newish ones to me. Kate Somerville, okay. This was a foaming wash. Indie Lee Rose Hip Cleanser. Also, it doesn't really foam, a kind of slightly slimy wash. This was my least favourite. Probably my favourite was this one, which unsurprisingly is the most expensive. And unsurprisingly, probably because of the fragrance. It's a vitamin C brightening cleanser. Don't know so much about that, but it smelt very faintly citrusy, and was gentle but did the job. I don't know whether I'd buy it, but it was my favourite of those. I got through several items from a mini set that I've had quite a while from. Now I'm looking, there seems to be still some residue. I thought I'd have got it all out. From Barbara Storm, which was the calming serum, the balancing toner, and the face cream. The face cream is nice, to be honest. I just don't think it's worth it. The calming serum, I didn't feel was especially calming. You know that I like the hyaluronic serum, but it's very, very expensive, and I wouldn't be bothered with the balancing toner, that's for sure. Always quite a few Chanel samples. I love the Camellia Water Cream. So does my mum, by the way. It's a very lightweight, typical Chanel fragrance, fresh floral. So again, if you don't like florals, you won't like this. It's part of their Hydra Beauty range, which I like because it's the only one of their main skincare ranges that comes in tubes and pumps rather than jars. I would buy Sublimage, despite its price, in a heartbeat. That's their really expensive range. If only it didn't come in jars. It's just pointless. Whereas the Hydra Beauty, which is a cheaper range, comes more hygienically and sensibly packed. But it's a much more lightweight kind of lotiony range, I think, with a higher percentage of water probably in it. So if you need a lot of hydration, it's not the range for you. I think it's a younger person's range. And I would say the same of the number one de Chanel, which is their newer range. I love the foundation. I love most of their foundations. Great foundation. The skincare products, not so much. That's a serum, by the way. I finally got through a Sephora micellar water. I must have had this for quite a while because it's a while since I've been to France or America, which is, where I tend to, well, that's the only places I can access Sephora. I've never really gone for most of the micellar waters, I have to say. Finished 2 fragrances, Costa Azzurra from Tom Ford. I like this a lot, actually. Fairly unisex, fairly summer to autumn, I would say. I'd consider buying this one again. And an old favourite in the sweetest little dinky bottle. In fact, I don't think I'll throw this away. It's so cute, miniature. Mitsuku from Guerlain, very old historic fragrance. Again, a fragrance that actually more people admire on me than I admire on myself. I was talking about Le Labo Another 13 recently, and that ticks both boxes. I do like Mitsuku. I think it's unlike any other fragrance. It's recognisably Guerlain, but without the extreme powderiness of some of the Guerlain fragrances. Do try and get a sniff of it if you're ever passing a Guerlain counter. I finally finished up a Sally Hansen Miracle Cure. I tend to use a treatment on my nails as a base coat, which is perhaps not the best thing for the longevity of your nail polish if you put it on over the top. I use a proper top coat, but I tend to use a treatment instead of a base. And then I haven't actually used up the makeup products. I never actually do, but these were getting beyond the pale disgusting. So here's a NARS stick in the famous Orgasm. And what I hate about NARS is this black packaging, which over time, and not that much time, gets really gunky and sticky and horrible. So that my NARS multiple, and there's still quite a bit of it left. If I was bothered, I could hack it out and devise some other packaging, but I just can't bear that sticky tube anymore. So it's going. Ditto with this product from Charlotte Tilbury, which was the Beauty Light Wand, supposedly an easier highlighter, ho, 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 with this kind of brush thing. They just squeezed and it goes on the brush, but look how yucky. Ugh. I must say as well, this didn't work for me. Liquid highlighters, I think, are difficult. They only really work for me. I will add them to a foundation to kind of add luminosity to the whole face. But I think they're quite difficult when you actually pat them in because they kind of shift the product underneath. 2 old tubes, a foundation primer and a secret finish from Laura Mercier. I don't know, do they still make Secret Finish? I must look up. This was, for me, one of the kind of precursors to the highlighters. It's a cream, but you used it very much in the way of liquid highlighters back in the day, to give quite a subtle sheen. And yeah, I went through a few of these before my complete highlighter fetish in the days when there didn't seem to be as many highlighters about. I finally decided to throw out an old favourite, Carine Rockfelt. What's she called? Carine. Does it say? No. She was the face of French Vogue, and I think my early onset Alzheimer's is kicking in. Carine Rotfeld? CR anyway. So this was one of these curated MAC jobbies. She's famous for a fairly sultry but neutral eye. And then she also liked a lot of contour. So this is absolutely dried out. And the shadows also, which is surprising because I have older MAC shadows that are still absolutely fine. But I did enjoy this palette for quite a while, but honestly, doesn't even shut properly now. So that's going, as is a Stila. Do you remember Stila? They're still around. Again, a brand I used a lot in the day, but not so much now. That's stopped working. So that's going. I have actually used this up. This is it a Body Shop? No, Rimmel Brow Pro. I still haven't found the perfect brow product, it has to be said, but that one's dried up. A mask that I had a sample of and I really liked was the Chantecaille hibiscus smoothing mask. Very creamy. You kind of pile it on and you do have to wash it off. So not as fancy as these, you know, peels and sheets and so forth. But it did feel very luxurious, as it doubtless should do for the luxurious price. And then Sunday Riley, I have some of the CEO products in full sizes, including the night cream in a big jar against my better judgment. I hadn't seen this brightening serum, 15% vitamin C, but I quite liked this as far as I could tell. The problem with these sachets is that they're not big enough to tell. I mean, I think you need to try a product really for preferably 2 weeks, but you know, it's unreasonable to expect them to give you that sort of size sample, but not unreasonable to expect 4 applications, I think, and this was really 1 plus. And I'm not going to buy a product unless it, you know, it's absolutely amazing, that I hadn't intended buying before I got the sample on that kind of evidence. So sort it out, Sunday Riley, bigger samples or more of them so that we can try things out properly. They're expensive products, you know. So there we are. There are my empties for the last few months. So we're going to have a nice clean empties box as we take on spring. So let me know if any of those empties resonate with you. If you've got to the end, I always appreciate a tick. That strokes my ego. Until next time, bye for now.